Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
assholeconsulting.com. Give me your money, give me your problems. Would that be too blasphemous to kind of compare me to Jesus Christ? Oh, asshole, the guy on the internet who taketh away your problems on the world. Nail him to a plank of wood. Maybe if I got crucified, it would all... Nah, just give me your fucking money. Here we go. Here's real asshole. God bless him. Asshole Consulting. Better and delivering more than Jesus. That's... Hi, Aaron. This is my second question I've sent you. You will be saved twice, my son. You are welcome to answer by email or make a video. I watched your video, Don't Save for Retirement, several times. While I do plan to save for retirement, I've recently had two thoughts. One, it's unlikely that I will be able to save the full amount I need for retirement. I did not start saving until my late 30s. This past year, my mutual funds lost money, so there's no... Did you sell the mutual funds? Because if you didn't sell the mutual funds, then you didn't lose money. They went down in value, but unless you sold them, you did not lose money. So there's no guarantee that the money will even be there when I retire. Also, as you said, there's a chance the government would confiscate Roth IRAs, and also that we are buying into an inflated market. Two, I've spent a seriously unhealthy amount of time worrying about retirement. All that worry itself costs something, time and stress. It's probably unhealthy to spend the best years of my life trapped in fear and worrying about something I can only partially control. Right, and you probably lessen your life expectancy worrying about that. I've recently decided to simply save as much as I reasonably can, but also enjoy some things I want to do while I'm still young and healthy. For example, there are 2 or 3 places where I want to travel that I would not go to save money if my only goal in life was to save the maximum amount of retirement. Of course, I also accept that I will most likely have to work until the day I die, and if I'm physically unable to work, might have to consider this Wesson Retirement Plan. Absolutely. That sounds awful, but I think it is much worse to spend my whole life fearful of not saving enough for retirement. Absolutely. What's worse? You didn't kill yourself with the Smith & Wesson Retirement Plan, but you lived a miserable life, or you lived this great life, you ended up getting injured, or you just didn't plan to have the money, and then you bump yourself off when you only had maybe 5 years left. What do you want? I mean, it's like the Bernie Madoff thing. Everyone thinks, oh, we finally got him. No, you didn't. Bernie Madoff lived the vast majority of his life as a billionaire. He wasn't a billionaire, but he lived his life like it. I mean, that guy won. He won. Society got fucked. He won. Okay? What life would you rather live? In the meantime, I can live my life and not spend all my mental energy thinking about the final years of my life. Ironically, this seems to be what most oblivious Americans just do anyway. The difference, I guess, is that I'd be doing it consciously. I would realize I'm not saving enough, but just stop worrying about it. Oh yeah, dude, ignorance is like, it is bliss. As I've gotten older, I realize just how bliss ignorance is. I wish I could be the fucking dipshit over in the fucking ghetto who just collects the government check, or the welfare trash over in fucking Wyoming, and they just don't care. Like, they don't even think about, well, where does this check come from? And then they get pissed if it doesn't, or how dare these evil Republicans cut my money. I just would love to have that life. And they don't think of, obviously, the way they eat, the way they're all fat and obese. Fuck, they don't care. And but I mean, look at how fat, dumb, and happy they are. I mean, man, it just, yeah. So, but you're smarter than the average bear, so you're going to realize this. What are your thoughts on this? Have any of your opinions changed since you made that retirement video? No. But also keep in mind that video was made for younger people as well. I'm not saying no, in that you shouldn't save for retirement, that there shouldn't be some kind of thing. It's just that you should not use the traditional methods, or at least be aware that the traditional methods of 401ks, IRAs, 457s, pensions, etc., may not be there and could be confiscated. But you guys can watch the video if you want yourself. What do you think is the worst case scenario if I don't save enough? Smith & Wesson. And even then, like, you could go on the government dole. You can live off of welfare, like, as long as you're healthy. The worst case scenario would be, like, you're a vegetable and you don't have a living will saying, kill me, and no tubes. So put a living will together so that doesn't happen. But as long as you have your mental faculties, facilities about you, and all of a sudden you find out you get like terminally ill, or you find out that you got like Alzheimer's, dude, like fucking World War Z, take yourself out immediately. I will hit age 65 by 2041. By then, do you think the U.S. economy will have just collapsed anyway? Haha. I don't know. I can't tell you. Watch my video. Why hasn't the U.S. economy collapsed yet? Watch that video. There's no way you can predict it. Best regards, Jeff. Anyway, what are my thoughts on this? You know what? You're thinking along the right lines. You absolutely are right. You should not be. Look, you're going to live once, okay? You shouldn't be spent worrying. I wasted my entire 20s trying to bust my ass off, save money, do the right thing, and then I was going to spend my 30s and 40s having fun. And I came nowhere near to my retirement goals, came nowhere near to my financial goals for reasons of banking being a dipshit industry. But I looked at it, all I did was waste my teens and 20s working hard. I wasted my youth. Now, in my 30s, and how much for it, I'm making up for lost motherfucking time, as you guys know. But yeah, and if I had kept going that way, it would have been a life wasted. You should not waste your life worrying about the fact you're going to die or that you might not have enough for retirement. Now, don't be a dipshit. Obviously, don't be a dipshit. You have to save money somewhere. Yeah, okay, throw it into the 401ks, throw it into the IRAs, but I think you even need a plan B to truly be secure. And that'd be something like having rental property, having some kind of entrepreneurial investment that pays dividends more. I mean, and we talked about overvaluations. Like right now, your average investment, whether it's stock or bonds, savings or equities, is around 2%. Your dividend yield is about 2%. And your savings rate is, if you're lucky, 2%. And everyone's going to make my capital gain. Shut the fuck up and learn some finance, okay, dipshits? So what I found is, and this is why I did a post, why I'm investing or why you should invest in Davis Arini, is because my entrepreneurial venture, as small as it may be, is to take $1,000, pay someone to make an audio book version of Bachelor Pad Economics, which is coming out, by the way, and I would make $50 a month on that. Well, 50 times 12 is 600. That's a 60% rate of return. Now, albeit on a very small investment. But the stock markets are so overvalued, so flooded with not only retirement dollars and quantitative easing dollars and Federal Reserve dollars, and fractional reserve dollars, and buyback dollars, that they're just, your only real investments with real rates of return are in yourself, or in entrepreneurship, are in small little things, or what's the one? Prosper, peer-to-peer lending, that kind of stuff. You eke out a little bit higher rate of return. So it is not by going where all the sheeple and the lemmings are pushing themselves off the cliff. There are other rates of return, much higher rates of return of investments that more than compensate for what little fucking tax write-off you get, be it a Roth or a traditional. And I think that's kind of where the future of retirement planning is going. Additionally, another thing is you just have to be a minimalist. You already got it right with the Smith & Wesson Retirement Plan. That's going to save you the lion's share of the amount of money you're going to need. Health expenses and living expenses and end-of-life expenses. But if you could become a minimalist, you don't need a fancy house. You don't need a fancy car. It makes retirement planning a lot easier. It just does. You don't need the McMansion and the fancy new car. And a single guy can get by on dirt cheap. You can get by on very little and also have a life. I mean, I do all this shit on less than $40,000 a year. All right, of course, I've lived in a basement and have rental property. And, rental property is another example of an investment that can really help. But the only reason I have this level of freedom is because of my, very, very cheap living. If I lived a normal life, no, I wouldn't. I would have to be working a full-time job. I'd have to worry about all that other shit. So, minimalism, entrepreneurship, skills, that's another thing I bring up. If you invest in some kind of skills that, like when you're older and you can still do computer programming, you won't be retired, but you won't have to worry about, will I run out of money? As long as you can work, then you'll have some kind of skill that you could always trade for money, so you have retirement security in that sense. And if you can't work anymore and you're crippled or whatever, but you can still pull your gun, then that's the Smith & Wesson Retirement Plan. But you're absolutely right. Your thoughts are correct. What are you? You're 32? How old are you? 30, wait, 65 and 24. Well, whatever. Yeah, stop worrying about this shit. Go have fun. I mean, don't be a pariah. Don't be a dipshit blowing money. But certainly stop worrying about shit. You're going to die. If you're committed to the Wesson Smith Retirement Program, don't fear that because you are living a better life that way. What you should fear is the life you're currently living now. Say, fuck, I got to change this. And go and have fun, man, because it's going to be done, you're 65 in 2041. You're likely dead by 2050, statistically speaking. So you have what left on this planet? 34 years, maybe? Yeah, don't piss away the next 34 like you wasted the past 40 or whatever your age is. Because you're roughly my age if I'm doing it, all right? I'm not pissing away. The last decade I haven't pissed away. But I'm never pissing away 3 decades of my life like I did the first 3 decades. Of course, the first decade and a half weren't really under my control, but I am not ever pissing away any more money. You live life for motherfucking you, all right? And you don't worry about, I gotta save retirement, especially the flawed retirement system that we have now. You do what works, you cut down your spending, become a minimalist, you go live life, you travel, have good friends. I do advise eating some good food every once in a while. I'm not saying you gotta, man cannot live on Subway salads alone. That gets really boring really quick. But for the occasional sushi here or there. But yeah, and then just the thing, you have some goals that you want to do and then go do them, because otherwise not worrying is only one part of that formula. You also have to have goals to go and actually do and live life before you die. So that would be your next part. And the other thing is, once you have these goals, your brain is so preoccupied with achieving those goals and living your life, you don't have time to worry about death and the darkness and the gloom and all that other stuff. So yeah, but you're on the right track. Just consider the Smith and Wesson Retirement Plan. Minimalism, live life, you should be fine. Toodles.